Forward down the field, the Lions team that will not yield. And when the blue and silver wave, you stand and cheer the brave. I win the game, with honor you will keep your fame. So down the field and
Lions victory! Woo! All right, everyone. Welcome back to Sports Flow with BK and Speaks. Sorry about the delay on this episode. I was feeling a little under the weather last week. Came down with the flu, but it's good to be back and talking with you about another Lions victory. This week we pulled out that, or last week we pulled out the victory against the Carolina Panthers with that 42-24 win. Woo! It was a great sight to see. Now, Carolina isn't a very good team this year. They're probably going to finish in the bottom 5 of the league, but Detroit went in there, handled business, and came out with that resounding 18-point win.
Yeah, Carolina beating us last year at their place, late in the season to keep us out of the playoffs. This was, a must win, in my opinion, this year with the young quarterback. And we did just that. We went in there and we took care of business just like I wanted us to.
Yeah, me too, man. I think last year it was a brutal loss. We would have been in the playoffs at that time, and if we were to get that win and we didn't take care of business, and they really just dominated the line of scrimmage in that game and ended up taking it from us.
Yeah, and now this year we did the complete opposite, and we dominated the line of scrimmage in the trenches, and that's where games are won and lost, and that's why we're winning games like we're winning them.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, the offensive line has been a huge piece for us. A lot of moving pieces there, obviously with the injuries, but they just continue to fill in those pieces and come out every week and perform.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if, Vitai's in there, not in there, Jackson in there, not in there, Glasgow not in there, not in there. Everyone's filling in and doing their part. We got such a deep team, especially on the offensive line end, and everyone's holding down the fort when the others hurt. It's great to see.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think in this situation, I mean, Penei Sewell has been the anchor. Frank Ragnow's kind of been the anchor there too. And I think we probably have 6 starting offensive linemen on this team. Just keep kind of rotating them through with the injuries, and we're producing some results here.
Yeah, another guy who's really benefiting from our offensive line play is David Montgomery. I mean, this season through 3 games played, because remember he missed that week with his quad injury.
Yep.
Montgomery has matched his TD total from last year. He has 5 TDs. This year. He had 5 all of last year, and we're not even through the halfway point this year. I mean, it's really evident that this offensive line is making Montgomery look like even a bigger monster than he already is.
Yeah, a huge free agent signing for us. Obviously, it was tough moving on from Jamal Williams. Great locker room presence for us last year. But you got to feel like we upgraded the position there with how Montgomery's producing.
Yeah, he had an excellent game. And I think this was his real breakout game with us, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would agree. I think the 109 yards and a touchdown, he controlled the line, or we controlled the line of scrimmage, and David Montgomery was the huge beneficiary to that. But man, you talk about a breakout game and a guy that can be a real staple to this offense, and Montgomery's just that.
Yeah, and the reason he, got this game started and had the breakout game, can we talk about the guy who came back from the quad injury and the suspension with the block to lead us off with scoring there?
Yeah, that long run. I mean, Jamison Williams just comes up with a huge block there. The wide receiver, it's good to have him back. I mean, even if he's not contributing in the passing attack, it's good to see him get those type of blocks to spring those long runs.
Yeah.
And create plays offensively. I mean, he's a huge, big play threat for us with that speed. But, I mean, if he can get in the trenches and produce for us there, too, I mean, sky's the limit.
Yeah, because as, Ben Johnson preached all week in meetings, and it obviously stuck with JMO because he repeated it this week in practice. No bark, no ball. So without that block, Montgomery's not scoring that touchdown. So he's filling in other assignments. Everyone, they want to talk about, the drop across the middle. For his first target of the season, yes, it went right through his hands. Yes, was it a perfect pass? But before you rip on JMO too much, you got to remember this NFL isn't what it used to be. In my humble opinion, JMO made a smart business decision there. Coming back, getting his feet wet. I didn't need him getting crushed over the middle and, then getting hurt again and being scared. I think he made a smart business decision there. And, I bet if you ask Goff, he would say he should have not, put a guy who's coming back after everything that's happened to him in such a vulnerable position for his first catch of the year.
Yeah, it was a tough situation for him. Obviously, everybody wants to see him catch the ball and, make a play there, but he was set up for disaster. That linebacker was ready.
He was licking his chops. He was licking his chops. And let's not also forget, JMO didn't have his Batman with St. Brown being out this game. Right now, St. Brown is our Batman to JMO being our Robin. Now, don't think that I don't think that might change moving along. Absolutely no question in my mind. Do I think JMO might be the Batman to St. Brown being the Robin in the future?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. St. Brown he has stapled himself in as probably our wide receiver one for the next decade. The guy has just been incredible for us, but I think, side by side, those guys offer a lot of value to each other.
They do. When he comes back and they're lined up across from one another, this will only allow our spacing on offense to be, that much better. So, that, play over the middle, that's St. Brown's bread and butter.
Territory for sure.
So, that's tailor-made route for St. Brown. And when he comes back, it's going to allow us to line things how we envision to have JMO stretch the field going downfield, not going across the middle. Not to say JMO can't do that, but that's St. Brown's bread and butter.
Yeah, he just controls that middle game passing. He's one of the best route runners in the league. I think, the other impressive thing here is you're right, St. Brown didn't play. St. Brown is the focal point of our offense, and we still put up 42. That's a large number in the NFL against anyone.
Yeah, and I'm going to reiterate this. I think it was a great business decision by JMO. He got his feet a little wet, move on to the next play, and he was elite in blocking the whole game.
Yeah, providing value there like we kind of discussed. And the other side of it too, man, is he couldn't even talk to his receivers coach or talk to his coach or be in the facility or any of that with the suspension going on. It's tough to learn the playbook at that point and get those reps in order to be in game-ready mode. I think he showed up and played a great first game for us.
As do I. He did everything that he needed to do, minus the drop. But like I said, it's a good business decision there. On to the next one. I thought he did a lot of really good things in the interim.
Yeah. Fortunately, our running attack really kind of took over that game, and we didn't have to rely on the passing as much as we have in the past. The situation at hand was, Montgomery was basically controlling the game.
Yep.
We're controlling the clock. Why pass the ball without St. Brown there? Reynolds has been good.
Craig. Yeah, he's having a hell of a productive season.
Yeah, Craig's been good as a fill-in, and Josh Reynolds too. Both the Reynolds over there have been really adding some value to us. Reynolds has stepped in as a good wide receiver 2-3 for us, and Craig Reynolds has just been an outstanding depth piece for us with the injuries we're dealing with at running back.
Yeah, Craig Reynolds, for a guy who's faced as much adversity in his career as anyone. Who just, got one scholarship offer as a running back for a Division I college and once thought his NFL career was over with failed stints in Washington, Atlanta, and Jacksonville. He was sitting on his couch when Detroit called him to training camp in 2021, and it looks like he's finally found a home as our, third depth piece at running back. This is even for a guy who didn't even make our opening day roster this year and got signed to the practice squad and then had to work himself up from the practice squad this year. And look at what he's doing.
Yeah. It's a great story. The guy just works hard and has continued to try to get to these NFL rosters. And every time he's gotten the opportunity to prove himself, he's done a great job with that. I think the other piece we got to talk about here is the defense. Since week 2 versus Seattle, they have just been dominant. They're controlling the line of scrimmage just about every game. I know Hutch was the player of the week this week with 25
Yeah, baby.
pass rush win rate and a sack, and then that pick he had was just an incredibly athletic play.
For a DM, man, he has hands, does he not?
Yeah, I mean, just the movement, how clean he is with everything. It's quite impressive with Hutch. Linebackers continue to be a strength for us. We're locking down everybody's running attack. Secondary, despite all the injuries, man, we just continue to play strong. Jerry Jacobs, that backup quarterback that we
were ripping on him a little bit
yeah,
to start the year, and he's came on strong.
Yeah, I mean, he was just kind of getting his feet wet, in my opinion, and getting the game speed. But man, he's been huge for us lately. He actually snagged a pick in this game, forced a huge turnover for us.
Yeah, that was huge. For the first time in the Lions' history, the Lions have rushed for 100 yards and held their opponent under 100 rushing yards. With that said, the Lions have held 6 of their opponents to under 100 rushing yards. And that's the first time the Lions have done this in team history since 1930, 1931, 1932.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive what they're doing right now. I mean, to go from one of the last-ranked teams in the league with the running defense last year to being one of the best right now, it's night and day.
Yeah, it's crazy if you really think about just how much improved this defense is. From last place in run defense last year to first place this year, it's quite the crazy turnaround. Aaron Glenn has these boys playing, believing. The schemes are all perfect. It's just so much fun to watch.
Yeah, and the culture. I mean, you can tell everybody's coming in. It's hard-nosed football. You're not seeing anybody slack on this team. The discipline's all there. I mean, it's been fun to watch early on. They're playing clean football week in and week out, and I feel like they can just about play with anybody here in this league.
Yeah, I mean, they're controlling the line of scrimmage. They're winning it in the trenches. We're winning it in the trenches on the defensive end. We're winning it in the trenches on the offensive end. And that's a recipe for W's and wins in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, the line of scrimmage is where everything starts. And I think, if we continue to win that line of scrimmage, we're going to be a tough beat.
Yeah, I mean, that's where games are won and lost. And if we keep doing what we're doing, I don't see us stopping winning anytime soon.
No, I don't either. I think it's a lot of fun for us to watch right now. I think every fan is chugging the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to feel like this team is a serious contender, and this is fun.
And the fans are showing up. They're going to all the away games, and the away games are feeling like home games. It's a fun thing to watch in this 2023 year right now, Brian.
Yeah, these home takeovers or away takeovers are incredible. This fan base is showing up, and the players even notice it. I mean, walking out of the stadium, they see all the blue. I mean, how does a team not want to play for the Lions, or a player not want to play for the Lions right now with the support they're getting?
Jared Goff said best fans in the fucking league.
Yeah, well, we've been right up there this year. So, but anyways, thanks for joining us for Sports Flow with BK and Speaks. We'll be back next week to discuss the Tampa Bay game and what happened there, and hope you tune in for the next one. We got some fun stuff for you. Yeah, yep. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.